Youngstown has a distinguished legacy, and we're honored to now serve the Mahoning Valley. In your story,
this NFL season, the refs have been out of control, man.
And then a flag. Oh my gosh!
No! Oh, that's a brutal call.
They're ruining the game.
Like, there was a time the refs gave a team 3 points. Just look at this. The ref was actually in the play, so I already knew dude was tripping.
Addressed it, and they hit on Zay Flowers.
Jackson is going into the end zone, and I think Jackson slipped over the umpire. They're going to throw a flag for grounding. There's a lot going on.
And man, he tripped right in front of Lamar, so not only did it cause dude to fall in the end zone, it still made it a safety, aka 2 free points to the other team for no reason. But what's even crazier is the time refs made a call on something that never even happened. Now, usually I wouldn't tell you to look at another man's feet, but as you can see, Amari Cooper was clearly in bounds, and the ref was right next to the play staring directly at him. Like, there is no way a messed up call can happen here, right?
Defense they're working against. Watson on 2nd and 9, put some air under it, it's caught! Cooper breaking free! And it looks like the officials are going to mark him out of bounds right after the catch.
They really called that he was out of bounds, even though his foot was literally a foot away from the line. Even Amari knew he got robbed.
Definitely got robbed of the touchdown. Yeah, I didn't step out of bounds. I knew I didn't step out of bounds.
Do the refs even acknowledge the error at all after the replay?
I heard the ref apologize.
Hold up, the ref apologized, so dude just got over it? Nah, man, if that happened to me, next time I saw that zebra, I'd have been like,
it's down a run, and John Green runs through.
Regardless, at least the refs only made one bad call that time, and it didn't even cost the Browns the game. But there was an even crazier moment when refs made 3 bad calls in the same play, and it cost the Vikings an L. Now, honestly, I never thought I'd hear about a time the refs made right calls, then changed their mind to the wrong calls, until it happened when the Vikings were down just 7 points with only a few minutes left. They were trying to drive all the way downfield to make a miracle happen to tie things up against one of the league's best teams. But on 4th down, what could have been their final play of the game, they had no choice and went for it.
He's going to have someone make a play.
Boy, they are coming. Cousins just lofts it up in the air, and interference call is on the way against Snead, who can't believe it.
Yeah, that pass was incomplete, but the refs threw their little yellow flags and made the right call for once. Or so I thought. Because as you can see on the play, dude's hands were all over the receiver's jersey before he had the ball, and obviously that's not allowed. An easy pass interference call. Also, the throw itself was a big deal to the commentators because it would have avoided any flags being thrown if it was tipped. But since it wasn't, and the fact that there could have been even more flags thrown for how the Chiefs should have been flagged for illegally grabbing a dude's face mask, and because one of their players took his helmet off during the play, which should have been called for unsportsmanlike conduct, there's no way the refs could change their mind and pick up the flag. Right? Well, obviously the refs were smoking some, because after they discussed the play, they decided to just change their mind.
There is no foul for pass interference.
I'm speechless, man. After all the evidence, to make a call that ridiculous, ain't no way the Chiefs weren't in their parlay. That call gave them the ball and led to them winning. Now, all of that is crazy, but it still wasn't as bad as the time refs made one of the worst calls ever that not only lost the team the game, it also lost them their jobs.
I'm sorry, you're fired. Get out of here.
But before we get to that, now that we're close to the an official sportsbook partner of the NFL for sponsoring this video. Let's get this money, boys. But anyways, back to one of the worst calls I've ever seen that not only lost the team the game, it lost the refs their jobs. With barely any time left, the Lions scored this touchdown, which meant they were now only losing by 1 point. But instead of just trying to tie the game, which everybody including the refs expected them to do, the Lions lined up for a trick play to go for the win on a 2.
Play action. End zone. There it is! Unbelievable! The 2-point try is good.
And after that, the Lions were hyped. Fans were stunned. This man even realized he put a sombrero on for no reason, and Cowboys players were looking like they seen a ghost or something. Nobody in the stadium could believe what just happened, and neither could the refs, so they threw a flag.
What else could be? So the call is an illegal touch?
The refs claim that dude who caught the ball, Taylor Decker, was an offensive lineman. And big boys like him are usually only allowed to block players unless they let the refs know before the play that they're going to be a possible receiver. Replays did show that dude clearly talked to the ref before the play, and maybe he was secretly flirting with dude or something. To be honest though, I'm sure in that scenario, he was just telling him he was possibly going to catch the next pass, alright? But the ref claimed he didn't report that, so when dude caught the game-winning pass, it didn't even count. After that call, I literally thought the Lions coach was gonna kill somebody. I mean, this dude was freaking the f out. Regardless, the Lions lost the game, and not only did it have the refs getting called out on live TV.
This is a huge mistake, but the thing that bothers me the most, we're putting blame on the players. Stop. The players did everything right. So quit blaming, quit covering somebody's butt, and tell it the way it is. Be a man and take responsibility.
The NFL announced that the ref who made that bad call, along with his crew that night, would not be allowed to officiate this year's playoffs because they were fired. Justice was served. Get those refs the f out of here, man. But as confusing as that entire situation was, I'm gonna be honest, the refs only get worse. Cause what if I told you that this ball, that's clearly on the ground, you see this, right? This was ruled a catch. Yeah, that sounds impossible, I already know. And to make the situation even worse, the refs ruined a team's Christmas Eve, literally a holiday, all because they gifted a call that made no sense with the game on the line, here on this play.
3rd and 4, extra pressure picked up.
T-Mobile savings, take one. Focus, here's the line. At T-Mobile, you get tons of benefits and you can still...
Low out there for Dobbs, and he's got it.
Oh my god, dude caught that? From my eyes, that was unbelievable. I can't even lie. But it was actually so unbelievable that the team it happened again this time. They challenged was served. Get those refs the f out of here, man. But it's confusing. Christmas Eve, literally a holiday, all because they gifted a call that made no sense with the game on the line, here on this play.
3rd and 4, extra pressure picked up. Low out there for Dobbs, and he's got it.
Oh my god, dude caught that? From my eyes, that was unbelievable. I can't even lie. But it was actually so unbelievable that the team it happened against threw a red flag. Things were getting serious this time. They challenged that the catch shouldn't have even counted because he was so close to being out of bounds, but just looking at the situation even deeper, it raised a whole new issue. As he came down, he was bobbling the ball, aka never maintaining control of it, which would make it an incomplete pass. And as you can see, his right foot never touched the ground until eventually the ball did. So alright, just to add it up for you with some algebra real quick, ball plus ground equals no catch. Even the commentator felt like my math was mathing.
Dobbs did have control of the football as he hit the ground, and then as he rolled over, the ball appeared to come loose. He's got control. Now as he rolls over, you can see that ball pop loose right there. To me, that's all part of the catch process. This, to me, appears to be incomplete.
Now, alright, with him, me, everybody else thinking this was incomplete, it didn't matter what we thought. We were forced to wait on the verdict of the ref's decision on if they were going to change the call from being a completed pass. And well...
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Man, at that point, I was like, okay, messing up one play, I guess it ain't that big of a deal. I mean, it ain't like it gave him a chance to win the game right there or anything. Oh, wait.
32 yards. Got it.
Yup, the refs struck again by handing a team another win. But just being real with you, man, refs don't only ruin games or give away free points. Recently, they even ruined one of the greatest plays in NFL history.
They're ruining the game.
At least that's what the headlines were calling it. The situation was a little weird because technically, the refs made the right call. But when even Mahomo doesn't agree with it, clearly the refs made a mistake, man. Come on.
It's the call, man, just in that moment.
What was about to happen in the game was something that pretty much never gets called. Offensive offsides. Players are always lining up over the line of scrimmage, which should result in the flag being thrown. But if we're being real and busting out the facts, players were only flagged for it once in 2021, twice in 2022, and even in 2023, players were offsides without it even being called. Now, alright, I know what you're thinking, Matt. Like, what the f does any of that have to do with Mahomes, the Chiefs, or anything you were hyping up earlier, you dumbass voice? Well, just calm down, man. I'm gonna explain it. It's all because the refs, for some reason, decided they were finally gonna care about making that call. In the worst situation possible, a moment that lined up for what was gonna be called one of the greatest plays ever right here.
I don't think they'll sit back consistently.
Here they come again. There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage as the pass is to an open Travis Kelce, who flings it back over to Tony. My goodness, this is going for a touchdown.
With one of the craziest plays I've ever seen, Kelce really caught a pass from his QB, ran through 2 dudes, then turned into the QB himself, and that led to his boy scoring a touchdown. Like, goddamn. I already knew that play had Taylor Swift wet upstairs somewhere. Until everybody saw a flag was down. The refs noticed something that crossed the line. Literally, Kadarius Toney. He was over the line before the play began, and if you forgot all my annoying rambling earlier, something as minor as being over by just a few inches usually never gets called, especially when that literally had no effect on the play whatsoever. In fact, dude was literally over the line multiple times in the same game, and none of those were even called. But this time, the refs called offsides on him, so I'm sure you know how social media works, man. They were pissed, and it got dude turned into hella memes like this. They were saying, here's how far over the line you'd be in his whip at a red light, and even saying this was Kadarius looking back at Mahomes when he was offside. Oh my god, man. Anyways, speaking of Mahomes though, even he was so pissed that he not only smashed his helmet and screamed at the refs, after the game, he explained it's because he felt like this play was so legendary, it should be part of the Hall of Fame.
To take away greatness like that, I mean, it's the call, man. Just in that moment, it's not even for myself or for me. It's just I know how much everybody puts into this game, and for it to happen on a flag change the outcome of a game in that moment. I mean, I've played 7 years, never had offensive offsides called. Let us play the game. And then whatever happens, happens. I mean, it's just tough, man. And like I said, man, that's a Hall of Fame tight end making a Hall of Fame play that won't be shown because we threw a flag for an offensive offsides. And so it takes away from not only this game and this season, but from a legendary career that Travis has had. And I mean, that hurts me because I know how hard he works for it.
And honestly, man, Kermit the Frog was right. That play was great. But sometimes plays aren't great. Like when this happened, or when a play